Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittnee and happy Halloween. Today's video is a Halloween inspired chocolate bonbon design, or what I'm going to call Bonbons. This is a design idea I've had floating around in my head for a really long time, and I'm finally getting around to testing it out. I think I saw somewhere online a painting that was like a neon sign, and it really looked like it was glowing. And ever since I saw that, I have wondered, could I put that on a chocolate bonbon and actually make it look like it's glowing? And I just felt like some glowing orange, purple, and green Halloween shapes was the obvious choice. Of course, if you like this idea, you can use it for anything. It doesn't just have to be done with Halloween shapes. So let's get started on the design. Here are the supplies that you'll need. So here are all the cocoa butter colors that I'm using. They are all pre-colored cocoa butters from Chef Rubber. For the orange, I'm just using straight up popsicle orange. For the green, I've mixed together aureolin yellow, jade green, and white. For this spooky purple, I mixed together Oh My Magenta, white, and actually some French fuchsia from Pastry Chef's Boutique. And then for the neon sign symbols, I'm using alabaster white. And for the background, I'll use Eclipse Black. My mold is a half sphere mold. I'll link some of my favorite options down below. To paint the symbols, I will use this super fine nail art brush. Then this Sweet Sticks fine round brush for the color, and Q-tips for the neon glow. And to fill in the black background, you can use an airbrush. If you don't have one, you can use a large soft round brush like this one, which is what I'll be using today. So I'm first going to temper my white cocoa butter and start freehanding some cute Halloween symbols. My plan is to do some that say boo in all caps with an exclamation point. Then I want to do some jack-o'-lanterns, ghosts, and bats. I have a couple of pointers for painting fine details like this. Pointer number 1. Don't expect them to turn out perfect. Painting small things like this into bonbons is more for fun and not really realistic for large quantities of bonbons. Also, it's best to only hand paint things that still look cute if they aren't super precise. So things that look good with some extra character. Pointer number 2 is to use the right brush. Obviously, a smaller, more fine brush will give you thinner and clearer lines, but you also want it to be big enough to pick up enough paint. Pointer number 3 is to practice. As you get comfortable and more confident painting small details, you will get better and better at it. And my last pointer is that thicker cocoa butter is easier to paint and to control. So after I temper my cocoa butter, I start painting. As I paint, the cocoa butter cools down a little bit. I've noticed that as it cools and the thicker it gets, my painting gets better. There's a certain consistency that is a sweet spot. I'm not sure what the temperature is exactly. I'd guess around 23 to 25 degrees Celsius. It's like the consistency of acrylic paint. And you can use it at that temperature for these types of decorations without a problem, and gently use your heat gun to keep it at that perfect thickness. Anyway, I'll continue painting these white symbols. I don't have much more to add, so enjoy watching me paint some more designs. Sorry if some parts are hard to see. Painting these fine details is hard to capture without either getting a bad angle on the camera or getting my head in the shot. The next thing I'm going to add is the neon glow around each design. Adding the glow was pretty easy. I just used a Q-tip to dab on a border around each white symbol. The only thing to really think about here is that you don't want to get too much cocoa butter on the Q-tip because you don't want the color to be too thick. I barely tap the Q-tip onto the edge of the container to grab a tiny bit of cocoa butter. And while I have each color of cocoa butter tempered, I do the last step with my Sweet Sticks brush, which is a little bit thicker than the nail art brush. And I use that to add a thin line of color around the white lines. These don't have to be perfect, but you do want to make sure you go outside of the white lines so that when you turn the mold over, you will see the white line in the middle and then a thin line of color and then the colored glow. Here I tested doing the ghosts as just a plain white neon light, but the white cocoa butter is too opaque on its own and didn't look as realistic as a neon glow, so I ended up just doing two and moving on to green. Once all the designs have their colors added, it's time for the background. I take my tempered black cocoa butter and my large soft round brush and paint the thinnest layer I can down into the mold. Be careful not to get too much cocoa butter on the brush, or it can run down the sides and pool on the bottom, giving you a thick spot in your shell, which you don't want. Black is pretty easy to paint using the paintbrush because it's easy to see if you're missing spots anywhere or if you've got it too thin. I do 2 coats just to be sure I fill in some small areas I missed along the edges. And today I'm focusing just on the chocolate bonbon design. So I've filled and capped these bonbons off camera. Let's unmold them and see how they turned out. All right, guys, that is how you make glowing neon bonbons. Let me know down in the comments what color and symbol you want to make little glowing chocolate neon signs with. Also, give this video a like. It helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see something else that's sweet, just click on one of these thumbnails. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.